Hello again, everyone. Edwin Learnard back once again. In this YouTube astrological segment, I'm going to be giving you my Gemini December 2019 horoscope forecast, part 2 of 2. And yes, this does apply and pertain to the sun, moon, and ascendant. Anyway, people, first thing up is as far as December goes, Venus will be in Aquarius from the 20th until the 31st. So the ninth house is what will be emphasized and highlighted. So at this time, well, if you're unattached Gemini, you may connect with an Aquarius sun, moon, or ascendant person, or simply one that embodies Aquarius characteristics. It could be somebody you might meet at a religious congregation, a college, university, traveling abroad, a publishing venue. It might be somebody that you meet through global communications even, or some import-exporting venue or field. This could also be a time too where you value a lot of freedom and independence in matters with your in-laws, your grandchildren, where you want to travel, traveling abroad, I should say, things that you want to publish, but also maybe even spending money on something Aquarius like that's connected with higher education and or publishing, such as astronomy, aerospace, rocket science, even astrology, astronomy, innovation, electronics, computers, the future, things that are futuristic, or even writing or spending money to try to perhaps publish something connected with science fiction in some isolated cases. Now, this could also be a time too where this could be about the enjoyment of Aquarius, like things with in-laws and grandchildren, with foreigners, people you may know at a religious congregation or college, university. It could be, again, something with aerospace, astronomy, astrology, something with new technology, innovations. It could be going to some computer expo with these people. I mean, anything that could be Aquarius related. And really, it could be a time too where this can manifest in the enjoyment of an unorthodox or unusual philosophy or religion at this time. Now, the next thing up, Mars will be in Scorpio. So the sixth house is what will be emphasized and highlighted. So at this time, well, one way this may manifest, this could be where the situation with employees and coworkers, people prominent in your health life, your daily routine may be more contentious and acrimonious, more so than usual. It could be anger, some issues over jealousy, it could be things that are connected with, just a lot of vengeful, vindictive anger, being very spiteful towards somebody. It could also be a time too where there could be a little greater propensity for accidents at work. It could be, running around with a lot of passionate energy, a lot of emotional intensity, and just trying, or even could be taking action in crisis situations might cause some kind of accident if you're just, by through something of that nature, because obviously in crisis situations one may wind up having some kind of accident. Could be something at the workplace, or somebody, or doing something with somebody prominent in your daily routine, an activity with an aunt or an uncle. But at this time as well, now some cases this could be about dealing with you could be dealing with headaches at this time more so than usual. They could be very intense, given that we're talking about Scorpio energy, but could be a lot of energy and vitality into getting into the bottom of matters over a health or work-related matter at this time, and a lot of passionate energy, maybe into giving service, rendering service to others at this time as well. And anyway, well, the next thing up is Jupiter will be in Capricorn for the majority of the month. So at this time, the eighth house is what will be emphasized and highlighted. Now, as I've talked about in previous videos, Jupiter could be rather paradoxical, could be very strongly benign and benevolent, but could also have a tendency to enlarge and expand. Now, in some cases, this can enlarge and expand rather pessimistic, negative, very depressive, intransigent energy, perhaps connected with someone you're in a sexual or intimate relationship with, someone you're in a shared resources situation with, perhaps in trying to go outside the box, so to speak, and expand horizons. That it could expand rather limiting energy, since we're talking about Capricorn energy, and expand pessimism in those matters, but at the same time could also expand in large structure and discipline in as far as sexual liaisons go, your sex life in general, and more caution and prudence in those areas. Now, at this time as well, this could also be about really, putting a lot of exuberance into some enthusiasm into some business related shared resources situation. It's a time to be very lucky and fortunate, perhaps through being methodical, systematic, being very premeditative in eighth house matters, and being disciplined as far as matters that are connected with credit card issues. It could be matters with taxes, shared resources situation if you're in a business connection with somebody, matters with sexual partners, someone you're in an intimate relationship with, and also at this time as well, in some cases now, it can enlarge. Again, I've talked about Jupiter being very paradoxical, sometimes about enlarging or expanding. Some cases, it could just be simply be like a conventional type philosophy, or I'm sorry, not a really more conventionality as far as sexual related matters go. But it could also be trying to at this time, this is something, again, Jupiter, Capricorn, 8th house, could also be in some cases where there could be, really, you're talking about Jupiter being about hope and optimism, and it could be by being very business savvy in shared resources situations. If you're in if you're in some kind of business connection, but it could also be a philosophical transformation at this time as well for some of you, and it might be done in a very, being Capricorn, very methodical, very planned, premeditative manner, something you might have been planning for some time. And sometimes it could even expand in a large Capricorn type surgical matters, such as something with the knees, the bones, the joints, and the hamstrings. Hold on a moment, people. Next thing up. Well, Saturn will be in Capricorn still, so the 8th house is what will be emphasized and highlighted. So Gemini, at this time, well, you might be experiencing some restrictions and limitations as far as the libido or the sexual energy may go at this time, and also in matters connected with shared resources, moral, emotional, monetary support. I know when I had Saturn transiting my 8th house, I was having all kinds of, seems like, restrictions in getting, that emotional support, monetary support, that actual help from others. It felt like people were just doing everything but disowning me during my time in crisis or what have you. But at this time as well, this could actually be about gaining structure and discipline in your sex life at this time, Gemini, and taking responsibility in 8th house matters, such if there's any credit card issues, something with taxes, insurance at this time as well. And it could also be a period for working very laboriously and diligently, consistently in 8th house matters. If you're doing astrology or something with the supernatural, the occult, if you're in the psychology field, anything that could be 8th house, or making a very or also at this time as well, something working very hard and consistently at making a major change or transformation in your life at this time as well, Gemini. So those are some ways that this could manifest and pan out at this time. And also at this time as well, you might feel, Saturn can, again, is about could be about very laborious, hard work, and being in Capricorn, very consistent as well. And it might be matters with the sexual partner, someone you're in intimate relationship with, might require a lot of more laborious, consistent effort, more so than usual. Anyway, next thing up, Uranus will be in Taurus still, so the 12th house is what will be emphasized and highlighted. Now, this can manifest in a multitude of ways. Now, in some cases, this could be where you might be experiencing some disruptions as far as your sleep goes at this time. Your sleeping habits may be somewhat erratic and sporadic, and your private life may be going through really some unpredictable events at this time as well, Gemini. Now, at this time as well, what's interesting about this is that some cases that it could be some, idiosyncratic behavior may be misconstrued for some, something mentally wrong, or as a mental illness, or something else at this time, because you're talking about Uranus. Could be about, is connected with Aquarius, could be something, idiosyncratic energy, unusual energy. And then you have the 12th house of illusion, so you can kind of do the math as far as that goes. 12th house is the house of confusion. Could also be a time too where there might be, this could be where you're talking about doing, maybe doing something, behind the scenes, help showing selflessness behind the scenes, so to speak, or showing a lot of just selflessness just in helping others less fortunate than yourself, such as the impoverished, the oppressed, the hungry, and the homeless at this time. And if you have some kind of ingenious ideas or innovative ideas, you might be suppressing them and holding them back as well. Now, in some isolated cases, this could also manifest in some kind of unusual mental illness, but this could be very isolated, and a lot of this could be predicated and dependent on aspects. This makes the points in your chart. If it makes an adverse aspect to your natal, say your natal Mercury, or it squares your third house cusp, it could increase that propensity for that. But again, that could be very isolated. It could also be about Uranus, people or friendships maybe that might actually be hidden adversaries. They could be Taurus friendships in some isolated cases. They could be Taurus, Sun, Moon, or Ascendant people, or simply ones that embody Taurus traits. Now, Neptune will still be in Pisces, so the 10th house is what will be emphasized and highlighted. Now, this could be in some cases where you might be looking at your career, your vocation, might be somewhat nebulous and unclear at this time. Even people, 10th house related people, such as the dominant parent, which is often the father, people prominent in your career, your reputation, public image, authority figures might be more nebulous, unclear. They might be more deceptive and duplicitous, more so than usual. Now, in some isolated cases, it could also be about the dissolving and dissipation of one's public image and reputation at this time. But on a positive note, it could also manifest in doing something Neptune related as far as your career goes, such as something with the metaphysical, which includes astrology, photography, chemistry, poetry, dancing, anesthesiology, doing like fantasy writing. And especially, fantasy writing, if this is like making a sextile trine to your natal Mercury, or good aspect to your or somehow to your third house cusp at this time. So those are some ways that this could manifest and pan out at this time. And also on a negative side, though, in some cases, this could be about dealing with some kind of slander, or somebody, some deceptive person lying about your character at this time and trying to vilify you to ruin your reputation and public image. Now, last but not least, Pluto will still be in Capricorn, so the 8th house is what will be emphasized and highlighted. Now, at this time, I know a lot of you don't want me to say the dreaded D word, but I'm going to anyway. Some cases, this could be about the actual literal death of somebody you're in a sexual or intimate relationship with. This could be about making a really, a powerful, transformation or metamorphosis at this time. And also, you might be dealing with more crisis situations in 8th house related matters, such as something with taxes or an insurance matter, or it could be something that might be connected with the sexual partner, or a shared resource. It could be a shared resources situation at this time. But it could also be about going deep into 8th house matters, such as psychological matters, or something with the something with astrology, even in some cases, or it might even be some mystery connected with an insurance or tax related matter, or even a death at this time. You might be digging deep, figuratively speaking, or some credit card related issue. It might be some mystery you're trying to resolve as far as that goes at this time as well. But at the same time, when you're talking about, you're talking about Pluto and the 8th house, again, it could be really making a very, powerful transformation in your life as well at this time. And It's also just a period, just really where you're really just digging deep into eighth house matters in general. And as I stated before, it could be an insurance matter, credit card matter, anything, even in death, anything that could be eighth house related at this time. So those are some ways that this could manifest and pan out for you, Gemini. So anyway, people, that'll conclude this YouTube astrological segment for my Gemini December 2019 horoscope forecast part 2 of 2. Stay tuned next time where I'll be giving you my Cancer December 2019 horoscope forecast part 1 of 2. Until next time, people, Edwin Learnard saying stay well.